I was cutting up some trees at my rental next door after Hurricane Sally and throwing some logs in the back of my truck. One of them popped up, hit my window, and shattered the whole thing. They wanted $300 to replace it, so I just went to the salvage yard and bought this replacement window from them for $85. Looks like I'm gonna have to scrape off all that old rubber sealant, and luckily I don't have a back seat in this truck because it looks like it would be more complicated if it had a back seat. This is a 2004, and I've just got the back suicide doors on this. So looks like I'm going to have to take some trim off. I'm hoping I can leave the top trim on and get to the nuts in there. I'm going to have to take these side and bottom off. I think you pull up on that strap right there. I was going to try not to say in this video like everybody does. So I'm going to start figuring out how to get that back one out, and I don't want all that glass to drop inside here where all my tools and crap are at, so I'm going to have to put a blanket inside. Hopefully it'll just go out the back. I'm going to put a blanket in the back too, try and catch it. I think it'll be easier to get out of there. So we'll stop there and start back up again in a minute. So the rubber along the bottom of the window is still pretty thick. This is a real MacGyver job. I even took some electrician's tape and taped the blade in there because I couldn't get it. The plastic broke on it and the knife. But anyway, the bottom rubber seems to be pretty thick. I filled a few holes with some excess that I scraped off. My main concern is the top and the sides. There was a bunch of dirt in the top part of the rubber, which is pretty much gone when they pulled it out, but I took this scrub brush and I scrubbed out any dirt that was in the top or the sides, and that's my main concern, the top and the sides. I'm just going to use some window weather stripping that I have on there, and if it leaks, there's a groove around the whole window where I heard you could put like some foam in there, or even silicone. I'll just fill the damn thing with silicone. I don't care. I'm not that worried about it. I don't even drive my vehicles that often, and usually not in the rain, but hey, we'll see how this goes. So the back lower panel comes off pretty easy. All I did was pull on it and it unsnapped. Next, you got to remove these little caps. I don't even know if you can see. I need to turn the light on. But anyway, you got to remove these little caps. Oh, come on. Little caps on the top of the back panel. Trim, side trim. What I did was take a little screwdriver, a small screwdriver. I was going to try to use this cat claw type thing, but it was too big. So I took the tiniest skinny screwdriver, stuck it in there, and it popped right out. Wish I knew what I did with it. And then if you're lucky enough to have a drill and one of these little adapters that you can put a socket on, I'm going to put that up in there and take those bolts out, nuts off. So after I shattered the window, every time I shut one of the doors on a truck, a little piece of the glass started falling off inside my truck and stuff. So I took that duct tape, put it all around there to hold in until I could get the window to replace it. So once you take loosen the 10mm bolt that's in there behind these caps, I'm going to take these needle nose pliers and grab the bolt so it doesn't fall down in there, so I don't end up having to take the whole piece of trim off if I can help it. I just want to pull it loose. And this is the tiny screwdriver that I use to pop out the cap. And watch your head on this damn thing right here that I've hit my head on twice already, if you're a tall dummy like me. I had to hold the bolt in with my little screwdriver when I pulled the drill out so it didn't fall off and drop down in there. And then I just yanked on that and it pulled right out. Let's see if I can show you on this side that I just pulled. So yeah, see, it's got some clips. There, see, it pulls loose. Then you can get at it from there. My biggest thing is I don't want to have to take all this stuff completely off. I hadn't figured out how to get the headliner off. I imagine I got to pop these little caps off of there and take out whatever screws in there. Then I can drop that down. I might have to use a wrench to pull those. I could use my drill to get these out. So these little caps have a groove up at the top. These little covers. You stick your screwdriver in there and pull it down. It flips down. Oh, shit. I didn't mean to break it off. The other side just flipped down. I have to dig that out. And then I haven't figured out what's in there yet. So I was kind of going ape trying to figure out how to get these out. I thought once I lifted them caps, there would be some kind of a screw holding it in there or whatnot. But all I did was stick that little screwdriver right in the center of that thing and pried it down, and it popped out. So it's just some kind of a clip that holds in that headliner on both sides. So looks like I'm still going to have to take a wrench and get the top ones out, but I'll use my screw gun to get the bottom. So the other side didn't come out as easy. So what I figured out is you have to put your screwdriver in this end and pry down on either side at a time until it comes out. And if you don't have all kind of shit in your truck in your way like I do, it'd probably be a lot easier. You could actually move your seat forward. Anyway, I said side. It's not the side. It's the top and bottom of this thing. Top and bottom. You got to pry on the little plastic ends right there. Oh, phone won't focus. So far, getting these little coat hanger clips, whatever the hell you want to call them, out has been the biggest bitch about this job. Actually, the other side was easy. This side was a lot harder, but now the whole top is loose, so I should be able to get to those nuts up there and try to do it without getting all kind of grease and nasty shit all over your headliner if you're worried about it. The small nuts that hold the window in are 1132 millimeter, probably like an 8 maybe. I am not going to use the drill to put the nuts back in the new window because I'm afraid I might break it, over tighten them or whatever. So I'm just going to hand tighten them and then use a little ratchet set to snug them up. Ended up having to take the whole back panel and sides loose because of course I dropped one of these nuts down in there. So it ain't a big deal though. It's just these little push-in plugs on the bottom, which you might want to put in your pocket. And I did find out where my jack and crowbar. It's funny, I pulled this back and I was like, what the heck is that doing behind there? And then I see it has like a removable cover. I never knew the jack and everything. Crowbar was back there. And it's probably a good thing to take that out anyway so you can vacuum all the glass. I want to get all the glass out of here. You might want to go ahead and just take your headliner completely down because it is a bitch getting up in here to get these out. if you don't. The second one over is not too bad because you can look through the hole of the liner and see it. There's 5 across the top, 14 altogether, 2 on either side, 5 across the bottom. I'm using a 3/8 inch wrench to get these small nuts that hold the window in, and then this little pry thing that I have, or a screwdriver. This little pry thing works good for prying the window away after you get the nuts off. And the middle's a little easier because there's more slack to pull down on. And I'm using a 3/8 that works okay, but it's a little bit big. It's probably like an 8mm. And then this little block fell out from under the headliner there. I gotta make sure I put back in there. I might just super glue it from inside my bed once I get the window out. And I did hit my head on this puppy a few more times, of course. And you might want to wear gloves because I can feel a lot of little glass shards in my fingers. And a piece even popped out and it went in my eye a minute ago, so you might even want to wear goggles. Laid this piece of plastic in the bed of my truck. Hopefully it'll help me save on some time cleaning up. So I'm going to finish prying it out. To get out after that, basically you just pry behind everywhere there was a screw and then cut the little black strings across there. Try not to get it on your headliner like I did. And now I'm going to go out here on the outside, and I left the top for last. I'm going to go out here, pull this apart, and pry it from out here to get it off the rest of the way. As it's out, it didn't fall apart like I thought it was going to. Now it's just a matter of cleaning it up a little bit, get my vacuum wet dry vac out here. Put me some weather seal across the top and the sides of the new one going in, and put it in there. So just like there was some dirt along the top and the sides of the one I got from the wrecking yard, there's dirt on the top and the sides of this one. So I'm taking a damp scrub brush and just lightly cleaning the dirt off all the way around. And then I'm going to put the weather stripping on the top and the side. Take a rag and wipe whatever water off of here. Make sure it's not wet when I put the, or not real wet when I put the new window in. So there you go, budget job, less than $100 on a $300 job they wanted. Show it to you when I get it in. Well, like I said, budget job. I just went in and put some plain old house weather stripping on it all the way around. And like I said, if worse comes to worse, I'll put silicone caulk all around that groove around the outside. I don't think it'll leak. The hardest part of this whole job so far has been putting the old nuts back on and tightening them. You have to, I don't know if you have to, but it's good to start from the top center and work your way around each side so it will kind of seal around going down. But what I did was, it's nice if you got one of these little ratchet wrenches. Put that up under there. What I did was tighten the middle one and then the other two loosen, and then hand tighten them, keep hand tightening them, keep tightening this with the wrench, and the rest of the way around. It's a very time consuming, tedious process tightening these nuts. You got to start at the top center one, work your way around, and also you got to watch these gaps right here between the metal frame of the truck and the window surround. And as soon as it comes up flush and it starts getting tight, then you got to go back up this way. Like the top, I had to keep going back and forth from the center to the two on each side, because every time you tighten the center one, The other two went loose, and got them where they're snugged up. Watch the gap right there once the gap closed up. And as far as how to snug them, got to be careful, because you know, you just got a bolt that's anchored into a window here, and you crank too hard, you're liable to crack it, and your whole job will be messed up. You'll have to redo it. But anyway, I just went by how tight they were when I took the old window off. They were kind of snug, so I'm just making sure once this gets flush, I snug them all up, go around, check them all. You got to keep going back and forth, checking them. So there it is. I finished it. I am still going to take some clear silicone caulk and fill this gap all the way. A few little scratches on that wrecking yard window, but you know what? Hey, for the price, it's well worth it. Better than paying $300 for a window. So yeah, I snugged up them nuts, and watch that gap between the window and the rubber there, and didn't snug them too hard. One over here on the right felt like it slipped or something, so I had to stop tightening on that. I need to get in here and put my system that I've been wanting to put in here forever. First, I gotta rebuild the generator on my John Deere tractor. Ow! Ow, ow, ow. I just got the parts in for that, my John Deere 310 that I've pretty much ran ragged because after Hurricane Sally hit, dropped trees on all my sheds. I had to use the tractor a lot for like 2 months straight to clear my property. Still hadn't fixed the roofs where the trees fell. My rental property next door, a bunch of trees fell over there too, but I'm just grateful that none of them fell on my house or on my rental next door. It did pretty much break me though, so now I can't even afford to freaking finish the upholstery on my pontoon project over there. My man cave. Anyway, if you like my video, please hit that like button, or subscribe would be cool. I got a whole bunch of more videos on there. Y'all can follow the links underneath these and probably find them. My little workout center that I don't use anymore because I joined Planet Fitness now, so I'm gonna probably sell all that stuff. I've been trying to learn guitar. You talk about something hard to do. That is hard. My sauna, I hadn't used in forever, infrared sauna. I need to get in that sucker though one of these days, soon. All right, see you in the next one.